Hey, what's going on Facebook? What's going on YouTube? How's everybody doing? Rob, Big Rob, what's going on with you, man? I'm sorry, hold on, man. Let me get some volume on here. How's everything with you today?
I'm bad at all. Everything is lovely.
I hear you, man. I hear you. Well, look here. Lenessa, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
You doing good. I'm not even gonna get to this joker right now, but we're gonna do our usual thing, and then we're gonna include him into the podcast. But look, just to let y'all know, welcome to the Smoking Jacket podcast with Chris, Mr. Petworth, and my co-host Lenessa Terry, Puffin' Pretty, and our other co-host Big Rob in the house. Rob, let's start off with you, man. How's everything with you, bro?
I got no complaints, man. Other than being, doing my 6 wish for the MVP. Man. I'm not happy about that. But the Eagles had a good draft, and everything in the world.
Man, look here. Hey, that game yesterday was epic, man. My Philadelphia Sixers came through. Hey, I got out my sick bed, went down to the lounge, watched it, and man, it was everything. So hey, I'm feeling you.
Let me ask you a question, man.
Yeah.
Why are you always sick?
Why I'm always what?
You always sick.
Look, man, let me tell you, man. Look. I mean, I'm telling you, in December when I caught that COVID, man, stuff changed in my body. And, hey, it is what it is, man. But now I know what I got to do. I went out, got some vitamins, doing some health drinks, build the immune system back up. Because I'm telling you, even my voice changed. And since December, man, hey, look, praise be to God, got through that part. So now it's just a kind of little upward battle, getting through the after effects of having it. And I don't think that's what some people understand. It leaves you kind of, some people, not everybody, it leaves you with something. And I get it, man, because look, my church asked me the same thing. Look, do you need to take a break? Do you need to slow down? Do you need to do this? Man, look, I ain't got time to slow down, but I do got time to make some life changes, some health changes, some diet changes, do some vitamins. And look, I appreciate the question because I've been asked it a couple times. So I understand, trust me. And now that you're
the fact that you're just getting old.
You say what now?
You getting old.
And it could be the fact that you're getting old.
And well, probably I need to stop drinking that cheap liquor too, but I'm at a Philly-on, so I got some good stuff I'm drinking on right now. Yeah. Lenessa, what's up with you?
Well, post Happy Mother's Day, belated Happy Mother's Day to all the ladies out there listening.
Oh yeah.
I had a wonderful Mother's Day yesterday with my son.
I saw that.
My mom is in Jamaica, of course. She spent her time over there, so I got to have a day with my son and my family. So I had a good time. And just running, always running.
Good luck.
I'm happy to be here with James today.
All right. Hey, so look, here we are.
Man of the hour.
The man of the hour. And just for the viewers that's viewing on right now and those that are coming in, I decided to come to Affiliate and do this broadcast here. It's kind of sentimental for me. I appreciate the fact that he agreed to do the show. He has officially been dubbed the Godfather of Lounges.
And who does that?
I'm going to say, Doc Cigar 210.
Okay.
And rightfully so. I'm gonna give him the title. Look, I call him Papa Bear. Because really he has been instrumental in helping some lounges through some adversities, some hiccups, great advice, sound advice. And we're gonna get into this with James, but I'm gonna tell you what amazes me is I used to work here, and so seeing it seemed like a finished result, but it's not really finished because I know he got bigger vision, higher goals. But man, when you first start up and you look in everything is measured by, to me, what's in your humidor. And now when you look at this humidor, it's like a mini shopping mall. Yeah, literally. And so you got to know the work that has been put in. That the struggles. I been with him when he didn't have a liquor license. Had to go through some stuff with Howard County, was it?
Yes, it did.
Yeah, and man, he put in that work, that time. The customers came through for him. I mean, it was an epic time. So I'm not gonna hog all of this up right now. Just want to tell you what I know right now. But let me officially introduce him. This is James Price, proprietor, owner of Philly Cigar Lounge. I thank God for him. Thank God for what he's meant to a lot of people that have aspirations and wanting to venture into this arena. I'll say this: everybody has an idea. For your lounge and how to run it and do this, and it's amazing because we all have our ideas, and James will probably be the first one to tell you he about as blunt as I am. Well, if you got them kind of aspirations, open up your own.
Right.
I mean, I don't want him to say it like that, but I mean, because really, when I worked for him and I didn't understand this and I didn't get it, no, I got it, but I'd never forget, I was sitting at the end of the lounge, and James came in, and first place he went to is the bathroom. And he said, "Why you sitting down in my bathroom dirty?" And in my mind, I'm like, damn, why you got to go in on me like that? Because you know what?
On you like you go in on yours.
Yeah.
You learned it from James, I guess.
Probably.
Maybe it was just in you.
But you know what it was about? It was about perfection.
Yes.
And I appreciated that, and I never forgot that, and I won't forget it, because at the end of the day, the work you put into what you have is the end result is going to be how your customers appreciate how you take care and work on your own establishment. So James, look, man, I got to know what and how did Affiliate come about, and how did it get started?
Well, most of you guys know that I own the IT company. Did it for over 9 years. Got bored, started smoking back in the mid-'80s. And I wanted to do something when I retired from IT, something that I loved. Sitting on the back of my deck, there it is, the cigars.
Right.
So I studied about 4 years about the tobacco industry, how it was growing, how the format of the cigar lounges work. And it was originally supposed to have been my cousin Troy, which is Bobby's older brother. He ended up passing away. So Bobby picked up where Troy left off. And this is what we came up with.
Okay.
And as you see what we have done, we are the first black cigar lounge in the state of Maryland.
Hence why he is the godfather.
And we are the first cigar lounge in the state of Maryland to have a full bar. And what consists of 4 bars: a single sink, a tri-sink, a glass washer, a dishwasher, and a single or more door refrigerator.
Okay.
That's considered a full bar. Now, if you know, Tinderbox had their license, but they didn't have they had a bar, but not a full bar. Titans had a license, didn't have a bar at all. So we considered the first in the state of Maryland with the cigar tobacco license, with the liquor license, with the full bar.
So James, where did the name Affilion come from? I've always been interested in.
It's a Greek word.
Okay.
I chose Affilion because it was an A, and I wanted to be in front of everybody.
Okay.
So when you, but it means the furthest point in the orbit to the sun.
Okay.
The Earth reaches its aphelion around between July 2nd and July 4th. And believe it or not, that's the furthest point from the sun, but it's also the hottest. They're talking about the other side of the Earth, which is the furthest point. In July, United States is facing the sun. That's why it's the hottest. Exactly.
So you really put some thought into the name.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
And the name has a vision.
And it is hot.
It is hot.
It's hot in here. especially on Friday nights.
Yeah. You know,
And we wanted to start somewhere to bring to our culture where we didn't want it to be our regular grandfather smoke shop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We consider your grandfather's smoke shop. We wanted to change it, make it modernized, making things happen. Add karaoke, jazz musicians, DJs, something that adults love. Our average age is like 45 and up.
right.
And it's when you sit back and go to different lounges and see the different cultures in the different lounges and just see the connection that everybody has. It's not about how much money you make.
Right.
It's not about your status, but that common bond is this right here.
Yes, it is.
You know what I mean? And it don't matter if it's a female, male, black, or white, but that common bond is that. And that's, to me, that's a big family right there. And we can talk about the different lounges. I mean, you know, Philly On has this format or flavor. Chris have his flavor. But you have different people who like to go to different lounges.
Exactly.
So if you think about it as like ice cream, you have my favorite ice cream is butter pecan. So I love a Philly On.
Right.
But every now and then I might want to go to some chocolate.
Right.
You know, and everyone has their unique format. And if they stick to their format and not try to be someone else, then they can succeed.
Right, because there's somebody, a customer for everybody.
Correct. It's just like the cigar, different blends and different strength of cigars. You might not like a mild cigar. You might like a full body.
Right.
So to you, a mild cigar can't do nothing for you. You know, with me, I like a medium to full body. Not saying that mild cigar is not good. It's just not for your palate.
Absolutely. So I want Rob to get a question in, but I want to make a statement or ask a question. So speaking of different flavors, you know the whole debate about cigar lounges becoming clubs.
Yes.
You know, like the whole club scene. Is it a club or is it a cigar lounge? Again, it's all in what you like. So what are your thoughts on Philly On being known as like the hot club? I hope you would agree. But like the happening spot, if you want to party, Friday nights go to a Philly On. Like, what do you think about that whole thing about a Philly On being the happening party spot?
It doesn't, if it makes money, I'm all for it. And that's the bottom line. But we try to make people, try to get them what they want.
Right.
And like what you just said, there's some lounges that's on Fridays, but people want that peace. They want that quietness, so they go to those lounges. Some that wants to have jazz or whatever the case, they go to those lounges.
Right.
Here we're going to give you a club type adult atmosphere
Right.
on Fridays.
And then you can go in the back and get cozy. Like if you want to party, you can go to the front part.
Exactly.
You can come in the back and hide away, and like where we are.
Exactly.
Rob, what you got, man?
Well, my question is it took a lot of vision for you to step out there and do what you did, and especially in our culture. I know that when I first got into cigar lounges, by the beginning of themselves were hard to come by. But now, with you starting the first, the Black Cigar Lounge experience, my hat's off to you. If I was wearing one, I would take it off. My question for you is, everyone knows you in the DMV area. They know of what Philly On, they know where you're located. They don't know you personally. Where do you go from here?
You gotta wait and see. Bob and I do have some plans. COVID did slow us down. We was hoping to implement it this year, but then we just have to take our time with it, and you guys gotta wait to see what happens. We got some things in place.
Okay.
If I tell you, I have to kill you. But right now,
Wait and see.
One thing that I I can say this. The one thing that I learned about giving information too soon, it kind of spoils and I hate to say this, but especially when you got haters locally.
Yeah.
You know, we grown
Haters are
folks,
real.
and this is what it is. We are in an environment where, you know, Lenessa said it, the hate is real. So sometimes you got to keep things under wraps until you are ready to, you know, release. And I can respect that. I definitely respect the question because it's something that I definitely would have asked, because, you know, everybody is wondering what and where can you go from here. There's always the next level to something. So I respect the answer. I really kind of wanted to answer, Rob. So, you know, but I get it and what he's saying. But man, year one. I mean, talk to me about that. I was here, I think, not year one, but just about year two. And what were some of the struggles that you ran into, some of the obstacles that you ran into in getting things the way you wanted to get them?
Obviously, everybody knew about the liquor license. We wanted to have the liquor license when we first opened. Next was trying to get all the accounts to try to. When we opened, we only had 18 boxes on the shelf.
Yeah.
18 boxes.
That's
18 boxes.
But your humidor wasn't even the size it is now.
No, yes,
The
yes.
actual humidor,
Same
the
size.
of the-
Yeah, it was
Same
the same
size.
size.
Yes.
Yes, it was.
Same size.
And to be honest with you, it might have looked bigger with less boxes.
That was
Yeah, same size. And you know, when you first into the game, it's more so you got to prove yourself. Also, you don't want to step on the toes that the previous or previous owners that are already in the game. So you want to make yourself visible and let them know, look, you just want a piece of the pie. You ain't trying to get in no competition with anyone. One thing about Bobby and I, we focus more on affiliate versus anyone else. You know, sometimes you got to look the other way when things come across you,
Right.
so oppositions. But we find that when you start dealing with stuff like that, it takes your mindset away from your business. So you want to stay focused on creating that business. You know, some things will change as you go on, but if you stay focused on your business, everything will start working itself out. Because you're spending more energy, not with someone else, but with the business itself.
And, you know, as I ride, you know, as I come into this lounge, man, you know, I came in. One of the first places I went to was the bathroom, and you would not believe how immaculate the bathroom is, man. You know, if you know, it's almost kind of like home. You can go in there and sit down and take a newspaper. That's how comfortable it is. Nah, man.
Yeah, it had to be if you were owning it, working on it.
Hey, man, look. And look.
No, you laid the foundation, man. Come on, man. You laid the foundation. They had to follow you. You know what I'm saying? They had to follow you.
But, you know, I'm going to tell you, I appreciate it, man, the way that you know, conduct business and handle business. And presently, as I know today, you still haven't stopped helping. I talked to Doc earlier today, and you know, he didn't want to miss his broadcast. Not sure if he's on or not. I can only tell when people's on by either commenting or whatever. But we do have 2 pages to look at, YouTube and also, and I told Doc to go to YouTube, but I'm dealing with the Facebook Live piece right now. So I know we have some people watching on YouTube, and I'll go look at those numbers later. But you and Doc been pretty tight, man, and I know that, and I got him on the show on the next segment, which is the 4th Monday of this month. But you not only helped him, but you helped some other folks, some good, some bad. I remember, I won't name no names, but one of the first lounges that opened up in Howard County, and you know, it's you know, all about advice and when people want to listen. But how and what is your mindset when you start to help people? And you've always been that kind of person to really, you know, to put this in terms of it takes a village. James, all by himself, really has been that village for certain people. How do you feel about that? Because you've been officially dubbed the Godfather.
Well, I appreciate that, but I don't think I am. But anyway, what I do is, anyone has a dream, I want them to pursue it. But if you come to me with and you want to create a cigar lounge, I'm gonna give you some homework first to see how serious you are.
Yeah.
And then from that point, then we go to step 2, step 3. It's a format to this.
What's some of that homework? What's some of that work they need to put in first?
Basically, you want the first thing I want them to do is tell me about how to grow a tobacco plant.
Okay. The process.
The process. Tell me the process.
Okay.
Tell me how it gets from the seed to in your hand. You know,
The seed to smoke, as we call it.
exactly.
Yeah.
The next step, you want to look at the business plan. If they have a business plan, what is your vision of what you want to create? It doesn't make a difference how big or how small, but it's something that you want to do. You know, you got to see where they are. Then you want to look at their financials. You know, where you are financially, because if you're just going to open the doors, you old Tom, Dick, and Harry, you're not going to succeed.
Right.
Because now you're going to start nitpicking with the customers about every little thing, and they're going to complain about, you charge me for this person ain't charging me for that. So you want to make sure that you have at least 3 months of your rent, your lease, your utilities, and even if you have employees. When Bobby and I started, we put in about probably 90 hours every 2 weeks. We didn't have a day off. We was up from sun up to sundown.
And putting people out. People that don't want to go home.
Oh, man.
But one thing we did, we knew that they had a lot too much to drink. We made sure they got home safely.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
if we had to drive them, or before Uber, it wasn't Ubers back then.
Remember you had to come pick me up on the side of the road.
Exactly.
James literally left. Now this wasn't at night. This was during the day.
Yes.
For some reason, I
During rush hour.
was stranded on the side of the
Yes.
road for a few hours waiting for a ride, and I called James, and James literally came and rescued me.
Wow.
But I was smoking a cigar while I was waiting.
And took her home safely, man. Took her
I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that. Thank you, James.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
That's epic. Rob, you got anything else, man?
Of all the different brands of cigars that you've had over the years, and you told us earlier what it is type of cigar that you like, a medium to full body cigar. What cigar do you gravitate towards every single day that you kind of consider your everyday smoke? You come across a lot over the years, hundreds, thousands of cigars. Which one do you like the most?
I do have a favorite, but most of my cigars are Nicaraguans. I love the espresso, a little hint of spice with a creaminess on. As long as that's a filler, I'm good. You know, it could have a San Andreas wrapper, it could have a DR wrapper, but lately has been with smoking the Placencias, which is I need to cut out because they're too expensive for my smoking up my profit. You know what I mean?
Hey, look here, I got to stop the press for a minute because Lenessa just asked James earlier before we came on. She said, "Is my man, what's his name, DJ Dynasty?" But there he is, man. He said he loves you, bro. Dynasty.
What's up, baby?
And then I told you we talked about Doc earlier, man. Doc says, "I see you, big bro." And that's exactly what James is to Doc. That's what James is to a lot of us. He's like a big brother, a father, and we appreciate him, man. And you know, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I should have done this sooner than later because you know I will never forget. Let me tell you something, and you will not appreciate this until you actually see these two individuals in action in regards to their lounge. And it's all about perfection. It can be perceived as an arrogance, it can be perceived as whatever you might think, but when you have a vision for something and the passion for the vision that you set in place, you're going to require some things. And it's not going to be anything less than perfection. James is that man. He's that dude. And then you got Doc. Another immaculate, squared away, well put together lounge. And it's just nothing you can hate on. You have to respect it, because at the end of the day, unless you're willing to put your name on the dotted line, get along, do this, and I don't want to sound arrogant with this, but I'm just telling you the nuts and bolts in it. And and let me tell you something. I remember, and I think I told James this, and he told me, man, you need to slow your butt down. Working 18 hours a day, and I'm sitting on my patio of the lounge and had what's called a TIA, mini stroke. And literally working the bar, doing this, doing that, and doing that. And because sometimes when that startup and you don't have the employees that you need because of this, that, the other, you put that work in, you put them hours in yourself. So don't come, trying to change the demographics of the perfection that we try to put in place, because it's some hard work. And unless you're willing to put it, and I watched James. And I know some folks that told James, man, you need to slow down. And because literally 7 days a week will hurt you. 7 days a week will kill you.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
And you won't be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor. So, I appreciate being in the background, watching the work you put in, watching the work that Doc put in. We got him on. I don't want to talk too much about him. He can tell his own story. But bottom line is, man, Philyon has come a long way. And I mean, when I tell you from basically seed to this growth where it is right now, and I know you're not finished yet, Philyon has come a long way. It is affectionately known as the A, the first letter in the alphabet. That's his mindset. But if there was a number and he put the 1, I'm going 0. Because I ain't gonna let you be that first.
Come on now.
But I have to say this, and people think that we're in competition. We ain't in competition. We in coalition.
Yeah, they don't know what happens behind closed doors.
Exactly.
Because you know what, man, speak to this, James, because you actually tried to put together, and not tried, but we still working on that, an assembly and a body of collective lounges to work together and do some things and empower each other, put money together, buying power, etc. Can you speak to that and what that really means?
Well, I can't take the credit for that. Doc actually brought that, put that on the table. So I'm gonna let Doc talk about that next week.
Okay.
But I do want to say, when you start doing something, you want to continue to do it. I mean, even if you look at Puff and Pretty, started Lenessa, probably one viewer. She probably had about 50 million viewers by now. You know what I'm saying?
And you actually let me come into the shop. I think it was your first year. I came in and I set up my table, so I appreciate that.
Exactly.
It was one of my first shows or vending opportunities that I had.
There you go.
Thank you for that.
And you got Chris Petworth, with different flavors. A failure is when you give up.
Right.
You're not a failure until you give up. Once you give up, that's when you're a failure. So no matter what bumps in the road that you may get, the minute you give up, that's when you fail. So I tell everyone, if they in the business, they have a vision, they keep pushing forward. But the minute they quit, that's when they fail.
You, what year is this now?
It'll be 9 years, August. 9 years in August.
Okay. Wow. And the anniversary parties are always nice. I would, not be able to go because my family's homecoming.
Yes.
It's the same weekend.
Yes. First Saturday in August.
I attended one.
Yes.
First Sunday in August.
Yes. We normally have anywhere between 400 to about 500 people come out.
And we go out back and
out back, out front in here. It's appreciation of just being here another year.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, we try to get the vendors to come in and give giveaways and stuff like that. But, you know, people can charge for their anniversaries, but that's something that Bobby and I will strive not to do because we want people to have fun. We want to it's about us giving back, you know, to our patrons, to our customers. You have to love this industry. When you love it, the work is not hard. Anything that you love to do is not hard. You can get some ups and downs, some bumps in the road, like I said, some adversities. But in the long run, as long as you love what you're doing, you're going to continue to do it. And you're going to strive. And your thing is you just can't settle.
Right.
You know, I have got to this point, let me just, okay, I'm going to chill. No. You got to keep going because the time changes, the industries change, people change. So you want to keep involved yourself, evolving to a different, a higher level.
Now, you know, I this might be a kind of what Rob might have been alluding to, but I got to ask, I got to see what kind of answer I get. I feel that you have officially outgrown this location. Is there any plans to possibly uproot? Maybe not even uproot, but start a second location? Or is there anything, you know?
I tell y'all this, Ozzy is listening. There's going to be a
Great job.
All right. I'll accept that. I'll accept that. Hey, Rob, I tried.
What? I can't hear Rob.
Hey, you didn't mute yourself, did you?
Yeah, I did. Sorry about that. I was saying that, hey, at least you didn't fail. You kept asking, right?
Right. Because matter of fact, Susie said, great insight. Failure not an option. Well, you know, yeah, I tried. Yeah. And Doc, look, I just want to tell you that officially. Yeah, I see you laughing, my brother. It's all good. I tried that. Man.
I have a question. We have two lounge owners here. So I want to talk about air quality for your patrons. So tell us about the challenges of having a nice environment where it's not too smoky. How do you find the balance? What does it take? I mean, we could do a whole hour probably just talking about air filtration, but can you share with us like your challenges around that as you grew, how that had to grow, and how you take care of that?
If I would have reconstruct this, I would open these ceilings. This is only 12 feet.
Okay.
I would open the ceilings up a little bit more. It's always, no matter what environment that you are in, unless you have that roof cut off, if you have a certain amount of people,
Right.
it's going to get a little
Exactly.
smoky
And people
because the smoke to
understand
ratio. It's always going to be a challenge at any cigar lounge that doesn't have the roof. If they can't open that roof up, they're going to always have a challenge.
And you know what really, and what I've learned is this: it takes some serious money
Yes, it does.
to put in a quality grade, and it really is known as kind of like a hospital grade air filtration system. I mean, because I'm just gonna go back to the tender box in the past. Even when Jeff went to the well to revamp the system that he had, it still didn't get it right. And I say that because it took some serious money because when you have a environment that at a capacity of probably about over 100 people, he did it right the second time, I believe, because I believe Leonardtown has that particular kind of system. and it's working and it's workable. But man, when you really get into the nuts and bolts of that thing, you're spending probably almost about over 150 to basically really $300,000.
I thought it was more than that.
And really,
Well,
honestly,
Yes.
it is.
Yes.
And I say, you want that to be right. But man, when you're working with so much and you do the best you can with it, it can take away from, you will spend so much money trying to finance that. And you really have to make more money to really process and put that vision in place. And if we ever get to a point where we get that big, I mean, hey, we could probably do it.
Yeah.
But we do what we can to make things work and make it comfortable for the patrons. There's no secret. At Petworth, I got to keep the doors open sometimes to just let the air circulate in and, so forth and so on. James, do you have anything to add to that, man?
Well, like I said, it goes back to smoke to ratio. What we put the hospital grade up on the roof. We had 2 units, right? That wasn't enough. Then we put these smoke heaters up there, right? That still wasn't enough. So then we put another unit that their job is only to draw in the smoke.
Okay.
But on Fridays, it's still smoky because you got that smoke to ratio.
Right.
The people, because first time non-smokers, they just come to be with their friends. It's not good to come on Fridays. You know what I'm saying? But like we sitting here today.
No, it's good to come on Friday.
Well, no,
DJ
meaning
Dynasty's playing.
DJ Dynasty, right?
If you're a real smoker, you're gonna get smoky or not.
Exactly. I'm talking about those first-time non-smokers or just beginning. It might be a little deterrent to them because they was like, well, this is too smoky. Because you're talking a lot of people blazing up. You know what I'm saying? But like a day like this, we probably got about like 30 people in here, and it's working fine. I can see you clear. That pretty smile you got going on over here.
Look, Tate says we want all the smoke.
I love it.
Yeah, we want all the smoke.
Corey talked about Civil. Civil had a serious vacuum system. And they did. They could afford that.
Yes.
That was over $1 million.
Was in an environment in their upscale, they had the money, the revenue. You're talking about, I don't want to throw no numbers out there, but I mean, maybe 1.2 million versus, $7 to $8 million a year difference in industries between the two. And all of us would like to get there. It takes time. What does it take? Still support your local brick and mortar, because we try to do the best we can to make things work with what we got. And I don't think, we realize that the first thing that I know James is going to look out for, because I ain't never miss a paycheck. He gonna make sure his employees get paid.
There you go.
And not miss a paycheck. One of the stigma with black businesses today is my check didn't clear. Or I didn't get paid. They told me we ain't having an issue. And we're not gonna get that stigma. To try to break the bank with stuff that we don't have, or even take a loan out above our heads to do something that we know methodically that we can't do right now. Is it always in the back of our head and our mind? Yes, it is. Bob?
I've been to places where I would go in there, hang out for a little bit, come outside, and my clothes smell like Nashville. I know exactly what you're referring to. And I've been in places as well, being an engineer by trade, where I can look at the ductwork and see where the elbows and set up is working against it. The more twists and turns that you have in there, the more vacuum or pulling power that they really on the roof need to that smoke. Those 90 to 45%.
Indeed.
And so sometimes I just wonder who is it that they have it all in these but yeah, I absolutely agree. I think that it adds to the atmosphere and ambiance with being able to see the person across the table from you. Also knows with the fact that, with the music sometimes being too loud or patrons when you're being too loud, and you're almost having to scream across the table to have a conversation with your stranger. So that can sometimes be an issue. But, that's where you guys were referring to earlier. I think that's a good fit for you. So, I'm completely out of question. I'm kind of in awe because I'm super technical the first now power.
Right. Yeah. You sounding a little muffled. I'm not sure if that is with the mic or whatever. But we heard everything you say. Carl Harper, look. If you got any questions for James, I encourage you to post them so we could look at them, answer them, and anything you might have for him, please put it. I will definitely put it up on the screen. Carl Harper, who's actually in the lounge watching the broadcast. Much love to James and Bobby.
He's in the VIP.
The love, amen. And hey, appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, Carl. I got a chance to talk with Carl Harper earlier while I was here. Got here and we shared some ideas and about some things, and I appreciate that. The lounge, man, is one big network.
Yes.
You never know the people that you come across, that you run into. We create environments conducive for business-minded people that just like to come chill, people that like to come and maybe, get a little party on. And look, there's enough of that everywhere to go. It's no secret, Petworth is a lounge to come and chill in.
I have never danced in Petworth, never, and I love to dance. You can't dance it well. Maybe it's your birthday, you can do a little dance.
Well, we did it on my birthday. We did.
I was
the guy to your immediate left has absolutely zero rhythm.
Wait a minute. And you do?
I've never seen it.
And you do?
I'm gonna tell you right now, I can't dance.
Oh, I didn't think so. Hey, but look, Rod, did we have a good time on March 13th?
Yeah.
Hey, Petworth was jumping that day. Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
And if you missed it, you missed it. It won't happen again until next year. You were sick?
Yes.
Why don't you ask her why she always sick?
I'm not always sick. But as Chris said, ask questions. If you have any questions of James, ask now. He doesn't do many interviews. We are honored to be able to interview him. Right, James?
Actually, this is my first interview.
Interview.
My first interview. I've been given all kinds of excuses, but you guys asked, I said, okay.
Look, you know what? But
why not? Why not? We're family.
Appreciate it. Taking the time to come on and talk with us and because not everybody know the Philly story. And we talked about Bobby. Man, come on, man. Tell me about Bobby because that's my dude, man. He, that's the other partner. And, good brother there, man. Rob, he ride bikes. That brother can ride, too.
Yes, indeed.
That brother make a Harley talk. Okay?
Yes.
And bro, I don't think neither one of us can outride this dude. Now, I'll talk some trash to him, but Bobby one of them kind of dudes that say, put up or shut up.
Yep, indeed.
Okay?
Yes.
And I mean, he rides a dresser like a sport bike.
In this case, I don't want any smoke.
Yeah. But man, look, it's a Monday night, and I know if the people had to really look in here, this place is packed. Man,
when you walk down the runway, everybody knows about the runway.
Yeah.
The ladies say when you walk in the Philly on, it's like walking down a runway.
Yeah.
Look to your left, look to your right. Give a couple hugs and kisses and pats on the shoulder. It's packed.
Yeah. Oh, Lord.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, Rob, you dance like
That's that cheer dancing. I got you, baby.
He about to get mad as hell at me right there. You know you dance like
Here we go.
you dance like Donald Trump.
I really have to bring up Donald Trump.
Look,
We don't want to go there right now.
hey, I had to, man. I couldn't help it, man. I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it, bro.
I do want to say this. Bobby, as you know, is my cousin.
Yeah.
He's my yang, or my yin to my yang.
Yeah.
Okay.
We are opposite but business minded. We are the same. Our formats are different. You have some customers that will gravitate to myself, some customers that gravitate to Bobby. And that's what makes a good partnership. Just to tell you a little bit tidbit, him and I could be in the office going at it.
Yeah.
The minute we come out on the sales floor, you could never tell. I'm the one that always had the attitude. He'll go buy me a cigar or give me a drink, and I have to say thank you or whatever the case. But he's always that one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Bobby does a lot of stuff in the background what a lot of people don't know. You know, you see my face, but Bobby is just more involved in affiliate as I am.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It could not happen with just one of us.
Right.
It takes both of us to do what we're doing now.
And that's important because I'm sure it's
Yes.
hard, partnerships are challenging.
Yes, indeed.
But
Yes,
you
It's
indeed.
been
know,
so many years.
Yes.
You're still together.
Yes.
I'm gonna just put this out there because I've seen it and I've witnessed it firsthand. If James do something that people don't like, it's like a mommy daddy mentality. They run straight to Bobby.
Really?
But they run
What does
straight.
Bobby say?
But here's the thing. He just said he's like the yin to my yang. See, Bobby is very he'll listen, but the sign of good business partners, they don't go against. They don't cross the line, right?
Have a good parent.
Because they already know what time it is and what's going on, and and everybody has a lane. And Bobby knows James' lane. He knows his mentality. I know this firsthand because I've seen it. And the thing is, there's an operational side, there's an administrative side, and it works. It's the yin and the yang, and no matter who's behind the scenes, it's just as much work behind the scenes as it is in the forefront.
There you go.
Please do not, because whereas I'm in the forefront of Petworth, but Diane does a lot behind the scenes. Because I'm gonna tell you, I ain't writing their paper, writing their pen, putting their nothing, signing their check,
My man.
budgeting nothing, doing this, that, and the other. I'll spend the money before I budget the money, and then she'll say, "Don't order this too much, don't order too much liquor," And what am I doing? Am I gonna argue?
There you go.
With
There
it?
you
No.
go. There you go.
What I do is adjust and make adjustments to.
Diane, you hearing this? I know you were on earlier. But see, when you make adjustments,
Oh, look, you said, she said, amen.
Okay,
right,
okay.
amen, yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm going to tell you now, I don't do a damn thing but what I'm supposed to do.
okay.
And
You
with
told
You
him
know your
so.
lane. You know your lane.
you know what?
Stay in your lane, Chris. Stay in your
But
lane.
we make it work and we make it happen.
But a lot of people don't admit that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what caused that friction and partnership. Everybody wants to be in that spotlight. If you respect your partner and understand, because there's been some things I have brought to the table with Bobby. But one thing we agreed on, if he doesn't agree with it, like an event or whatever the case, he would give me his 100% participation.
Yeah.
Failed or we make it happen.
Right.
Same thing with myself. I would give it 100%. If I don't agree with it, and he very adamant about it, and I ain't gonna be we're not the partners to say I'm gonna sabotage it and I ain't gonna do this. No. If there's something that I might not see that he's seen. Case in point, DJs.
Yeah.
I was against DJs.
You were against
Release.
me.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Mr. Party Man, I'm not going to tell all the stories.
Let's be real here. I was at Bobby suggested let's do DJs every Friday. I was like, nah. But what I did was I gave it my 100% participation, and now you see what happens. You know, there's been some failures that we have tried. We both gave 100%.
Excuse me one second. Hey, Diane, shut your phone down, because I ain't there yet.
But in a true partnership, you got to respect your partner, and it's going to be a lot of things that you don't agree with. But if your partner is very adamant about it, you give it 150%. You know, and if it fails, it's not because of you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's because it failed.
Right.
It wasn't that.
Right.
That's all I have to say.
Hey, look, and I can take that nugget. It ain't processing yet, but I can take that.
He's still working with you, right? He's still working with you.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get that. I might process it at that time. Yeah.
Diane told me to tell you that. I'm joking, Diane.
Man, look. I don't look like too many people got questions, but look, appreciate.
Any questions on here?
No, everybody's just coming on. And,
So I do have a question. So Bobby, in terms of ordering cigars, is it a joint decision, or is it one person or the other? Like what's it bring in?
It's with the cigars, it's mainly myself. But when Bobby sees something, he has an eye for it.
Yeah.
He'll say, James, let's try this.
Yeah.
Let's reach out to this manufacturer and let's try this. And probably 92% of the time, it was a hit.
Yeah.
You know
Back
what
in
I'm
the
saying?
day, you used to take feedback from customers too, because I gave you a suggestion.
Yes,
something
and
to bring
customers,
in.
exactly.
You did it, and I was like, wow.
It depends on because you have some customers will just say, just because they see it, James, that would be a very good stick, bring it in. But then you have some that you rely on, and you know, they're very sincere about it. It's going to work, it's not. But like what you said, you suggested something. I know where you are. Let's give it a shot.
Right.
You know
it
what
was
I'm
a
saying?
Lancero. I can't think of the brand.
Okay.
They've
Okay.
since transitioned and done some things, but it was a Lancero. They had a little angel on it with the wings. I was like, you know what, this would be good for the ladies. It wasn't a sweet cigar. It was like a medium body cigar, and you brought it in.
There you go.
So
there you
you
go.
do listen to your clients.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
I got a question, and because I want to speak to.
Get it out, Chris. Come on.
When the time is on. Right now.
We only have a few
Right.
minutes.
So, you know, one of the big look. Let me make no mistake about this.
Okay.
We support black business. One of the biggest problems that lounge owners have is when you have or you decide you want to put your name on a cigar. And I'll try anything. And I'll smoke it, and you know, and the decision has to be made about, you know, and I'm not the only one that smoke it, but you know, there's just gonna be some cigars that methodically you could try it, you could put it on the shelf, and you know, every cigar has a shelf life in terms of, we call it rental space, and if it sits there more than a certain particular amount of time. It tells you something that, you know, either what the customers think, and then we got a decision to make. What is your thought on? I mean, because I have no problem supporting, you know, but you know, I love EC cigars. You know, Drunk Chicken Cigars recently came out with another line, the Homicidal Hen, which I thought was great. There's a couple others, man, but we get pushed and pulled in so many different directions. And then the minute that you don't carry something or can't, and like James got way more space than I got, and I only have a little bit, so I have to be really methodical about what I put in there. Why is it we get dubbed as like, well, he don't support black business?
That's a good question.
Well,
We need another segment for that.
Yeah, it's a long. But I'm gonna tell you this.
I know it's touching.
I'm gonna tell you this. You have boutique cigars. The boutique cigars are normally they're self-made individual cigars,
Right.
and a lot of times they don't move unless that person is there. Right? You have to take that in consideration too. You have some boutiques that will sell. You know what I'm saying? You have to look at your humidor as a community, like you said. Each box represents a house. That house have to pay you rent every month. And 3 months, if that box is not paying you dividends off of that, you're gonna have to make some decisions.
But do you help? Does your staff help to make those dividends? Do you have your staff say, "Okay, introduce folks to this particular cigar"? Do you have them steer people in different directions?
Yeah. So what?
Okay.
What works for a Philly-on is chef talkers. Like if something first come out, we put new item,
Yeah, I've seen.
or something to draw their attention and let them know. Now, if we think that it's a good cigar, we might even move it, shuffle around to see if it's going to get any foot traffic.
Okay.
If it doesn't, then it has to roll out. You made a point about the cigars being on a shelf a certain period of time. We give it 3 months.
Right.
3 months, but it also depends. It's not what you like.
Right.
You have to understand with your patrons like.
Right.
You understand? So something
trends.
exactly. So what might work at a Philly? On case in point, I'm gonna bring up tobacco leaf.
Right.
Okay.
Tobacco leaf sells a Pacific cigar that they blow out. We get them, we can't sell it. Same thing with us. We have a certain cigar brand that we blow out. Raul tried it. They couldn't sell it. So it depends on the demographics of where you are.
Yeah.
You understand? There is no bad cigar.
Right.
There is no bad cigar because what we said in the beginning
Exactly.
is what our palate,
Exactly.
what our palate likes.
And,
you know what I'm saying? So I haven't had a bad cigar. I've learned that
Right.
out of my 9 years
That
of opening
cigar is
business.
a cigar that you smoke.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
I got the last one now because I done had some damn bad
You never
cigars.
had bad cigars, but I'm saying the one you
No,
smoke
no.
regularly.
I'm talking about the regular. I'm not talking. But you have, I mean, and to lay it down to what you're saying, you have some people that come out with cigars that haven't really done their homework.
Exactly.
You understand?
And that really is my point.
It took us 9 years to come up with our own blend.
Yeah.
You understand? And we have done something in our blend, and this is an advertisement for
I was
Philly.
gonna say because I didn't know about
Yeah,
it.
well, I'm gonna give y'all one so y'all can try it.
Okay.
As you know, I love Nicaragua, so I'm partial. All my fillers are Nicaragua, but it has a Peruvian leaf in it as well. Well, a lot of people
I'm
haven't
not familiar
tasted
with that.
Peruvian with a Nicaraguan blend.
Okay.
When you try it, it's something that you never tried before. But we could have came up with something 6 years ago, but it wasn't to our liking. But it took us this point to get it, to release it, because it kept going back to the no, we don't like it, come back to it. But it's people, what they do is they grab these cigars, they get it at a special price, and they put their name on it.
Can you read that, please?
You got it, girl.
Of course.
You got it.
Yeah, see on that Peruvian. But to speak to what James said, I had a particular line and brand of cigars, black market cigars. Rob, you might be familiar with them, the Killer Bee, the Green Hornet. I loved the cigar. I loved it. But it didn't do well at Petworth, and I was disappointed because I wanted to continue to carry it. But the Tinderbox can sell the heck out of it, and but it wasn't for Petworth.
Right.
It sat there to the point to where I discounted them to like $5 a stick. Yeah, I mean to get them out of there, and again, it was a solid cigar for me. It was a solid cigar for Diane. It was a solid cigar for a couple of customers, but it just did not work for it. Now, are there cigars that will it work somewhere else? Yes, it will. It's just like certain and other brands of cigars that it may not work here, it may not work for me, but it'll work somewhere else.
Correct. And that humidor wasn't an overnight. It was trial and error, and we had to learn the demographics of the smokers here in this area here. We had to learn them to see what they like and what they don't like.
And so I just really, you can't take stuff personal when we don't carry a particular line, because there's certain things behind it why we can't. It's not that we don't want to, but the customers speak value.
Right, they dictate.
That shelf, in time on shelf, speaks value.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, to put it bluntly, money has to be made some kind of way.
Correct.
Employees are paid, bills will be done, etc. And there's a lot we factor into that. I got one more piece, James.
All right.
And Rob, you got anything before I get this last piece out?
No, actually, I'm enjoying the conversation.
Oh yeah.
We got a bar, and people don't understand that your demographics. And is this Howard County and Arundel County?
And Arundel County.
A little different than what DC might be. Price is going to be different. You can't compare one price to my price, to Doc's price, or Tenderbox price, or pours to here, this, that, and the other, because every county has its different, regulations and what you can pour and how you pour and taxes and so forth. And so, and then distributor price. Most people think, and this is a very bad misconception on, they think that liquor is discounted for us. Liquor's not discounted for us. Them distributors will rake you over the coals when it comes to paying for these bottles. And so when we do the math on that, and James is better than me at this, because I actually learned it from him on pours per bottle, etc. And then the percentage and the markup of what you have to make off of those pours to maintain your taxes, your etc., your this and your that. We don't just gouge prices on liquor to do this and do that just for the hell of it.
And do you have a percentage of cigars to alcohol?
Oh yeah.
People don't know about that.
Even having a liquor license, people think that they shouldn't have to buy a cigar coming in, but most people don't know you have to sell more tobacco than you do liquor.
Exactly.
And so that's why we require and still require you must purchase a stick coming in, because I cannot show this ratio of liquor sold over tobacco, because then you're not a lounge, you're now a bar.
It's a bar.
And in a bar you cannot smoke, but a lounge you can smoke. So we're a cigar lounge with a bar, we're not a bar with cigars. If that makes sense for people.
Well, I just want to add this. I want to add this. Now, I'm in Anne Arundel, and let's just talk about Raj, who's in Waldorf. He's in Charles County, right? So that's considered what, Prince George's, right?
No, that's Charles County.
That's Charles County.
Yeah, that's Charles County.
You in DC.
Yeah.
Taxes are different. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Out of the three, your taxes are higher. And Arundel is second.
Yeah.
Compared to the three I'm talking about, then Tenderbox, right? Now, let's talk about the bottle aspect. There are two types of pricing on when restaurants and bars order versus a liquor store. The prices that we'll get is a certain percentage lower than what the consumer buys in a store.
A certain percentage.
Lower.
High one though, right?
No. So they charge us, because we are a bar and restaurant, they charge us by the ounce. Basically by the shots.
Okay.
So that's why our prices of bottles are so high. Liquor stores are charged by the bottle. That's why they can order 50 million cases of, and I'm just throwing out the number, 50 million cases of whatever. And they paying $1 on the dime for it. You know what I'm saying? So people have to understand that as well. Just like when you go into any bar, you may pay $19 for a shot of Macallan 12, right? You can go to the liquor store and go buy that bottle of Macallan for what, $40? You know what I'm saying? So that gives you, and hope that gives the viewers an idea of why our prices are like they are. And not on top of that, we talk about the taxes that we have to pay on those spirits. You know what I'm saying? Like his is very high because he's in DC. So he has to charge so much for his drinks, but he's also have to make sure that his percentage to his cigars don't exceed.
Right, and that can be challenging.
And and people don't understand this other piece, because I tell it all the time that sometimes when you look at your overhead, I'm gonna say TVs. We have direct TV. At home, it's $240 a month.
Yes,
with maybe 4 or 5 boxes and so forth. But when you have a business, it's charged by your occupancy.
Yes.
And then don't show a fight. When you show a fight, people don't know.
$1,500.
Let me tell you how much we pay. $2,800 to $3,800 for a fight.
Yeah.
Just in Philly, because of the size, the occupancy, and the lounge, which is crazy.
Only way you really can order that fight is based on what kind of customer base you have that will come in and help pay for the fight.
Right.
You don't want to have to charge customers, but if you don't have a packed house in there watching the fight, that means that no liquor's being sold, no cigars are being bought, and you just spent $2,800 for about 8 or 9 people to come in and watch the fight. It doesn't make sense. And
It's hard.
James can do it because he's 9 years in. I'm 1 year in. And this ain't about Petworth right now, but we're giving you a business education and model and perspective of what we go through in the business decisions that we have to make. Because believe me, I would love to show a fight. I'm missing it. I'm at work, and I'd rather be home watching it. But I wish, and we'll get there. And I'm trying to get there like James and Docman got there. And that's why, one of the things I appreciate coming, sitting down with him again, another education piece to me. So much respect for the man, so much I can learn, still learning, and appreciate that.
Thank you guys for having me.
Man, look, before we close, we're about 6 minutes over our time. I don't want nobody to ever come on the show and say, oh, well, they take too long. It's 9 o'clock. If you got it, look, we'll take about 3 questions for James. If you got them, I'll give it 2 more minutes and maybe he can answer them. And but until that time, hey Rob, look, let me just say this: Jay Ferg, our other co-host, was on travel. He got stuck at the airport. Shout out to Jay Ferg, man. We miss you, man. We know that you would have had some great questions and perspectives for James. He was excited about meeting me, but he had to take care of some business in Atlanta. And James, you got any closing remarks? I'm sorry, Rob, you got anything before we close?
What's really funny is all the years that I've been here in the DMV area, I have never been to a Ferg Lounge.
We're gonna make it happen, man.
You've never been to a Ferg? What?
Well,
Friday night, meet me on Friday night. I might dance
but
with you.
you have. hey, I'm gone.
We'll get it in. Trust me, we'll get it in.
Hey, but you gotta understand where Rob lives. Rob lives out there. So every time he comes to Petworth, Rob, your money's always good, man. But I appreciate when you come. I tell him buy cigars, but man, brother's gonna drink on me a little bit.
DJ Dynasty, yes.
Man,
that's my DJ.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a little bit about Dynasty. Dynasty is our first DJ that we ever had. And something about this brother here, and he might not want me to say this, for some years, he believed in us.
Yeah.
And he didn't charge us a dime. Dang.
What? For how long?
I ain't gonna tell you how long. I'm just saying that brother believed in us.
Brother?
No, but what he did was he knew the long goal of it. You understand? He understand the long jeopardy what a Philly on.
Frank Tate, I'm sorry to hear that, brother. Oh, Lord. I mean, look, I ain't trying to be messy, but I post everything that everybody brings to the table. And,
Right.
you know, hey. All right, this Friday, DJ Dynasty.
And Dynasty will be here this Friday.
All right.
Yes.
He will definitely be here this
All
Friday.
right. That's cool.
All right, Rob, what's up? This Friday, Rob, what's up?
What's up, Ryan?
I'm gonna make it happen.
All right. Hey, all I can say to you, man, a failure is what?
That's the rubber day.
It's once you give up, baby, that's a failure.
Hey, look. Hey, that's our show, man. I
Nice having you,
appreciate
baby.
everybody. Appreciate
We
y'all.
gotta do a toast.
Normally, I would close the segment of the show with "Ain't No Stopping Us Now." I don't have my speaker with me, but man, McFadden and Whitehead, man, McFadden and Whitehead, sounds of Philadelphia, man. Hey, James, ain't no stopping you, brother. I appreciate you, man.
To the future.
There you go.
Put it
All
on.
right.
Wait a minute, Rob, what you drinking?
Oh, now.
Oh,
So there's not moonshine in
Party
that
pooper, party pooper.
Hey, hey, when you were sleeping last night, your liver had a conversation with you?
Yes. I'm still trying to get everything.
John Edwards.
Hey, yeah, John, my man. Hey, appreciate you, John. Hey, Lee, DJ Dynasty, appreciate you, bro.
See you on Friday.
Diane, I'll probably be here drinking a little bit. I'm sorry, I'll probably be here networking a little bit. My bad. Hey, look. I thank y'all. I don't take this lightly. I thank all my Facebook viewers. I thank all my YouTube viewers. Hey, God bless y'all. Next show, Doc Gooden.
My man.
From
Robert
Cigars
Gooden.
210.
Cigars 210.
And
Indeed.
privilege.
Don't want to
Cigar
admit,
Lounge.
you know, hey, and that show might just be off the chain. I'm almost scared. Hey, but Doc, we love you, man, and we'll be coming to Cigars 210. You down for that, Lenessa?
Absolutely.
We gonna make it happen. All right?
Right.
Hey, James, I think you ought to be there, man.
I might be on the little.
you know, all right. All right. Hey, look, thank y'all for viewing. I appreciate y'all. We about to sign off. Hey, Rob, I'm end the show, man. And look, let me know about tomorrow, all right? We're not gonna have well, you know what? No, stay on for a minute. We'll see how the show went. Hey, appreciate everybody.
Have a good night, everybody. Thank you for watching.